Josh, I
Hi.
I cannot begin to tell you my levels of disappointment are immense. I would say that the eviction has ruined my day, but it is only like 8:40 in the morning on the West Coast. We'll see where things go from here. How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm just so proud of myself for like not giving up, and I gave it my all, and like I was pretty close to flipping that house again.
Oh, you really were. You really gave it your all. It was tremendous.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, when you entered the game, you mentioned that you wanted to play with other people, but you found yourself on sort of the outside of everything. Do you
Yeah.
feel that everyone in the house gave you a proper chance?
I don't necessarily feel like I got a proper chance from a lot of the house guests. And when you start when you're getting that vibe from quite a few people, it's hard to kind of want to work with any of the people because once you realize like everyone's like working together and like it gets a little strange to navigate. So I decided that my game plan was just to go in. So like once like everything was obvious that I was going to be working solo, I was just going to own it,
Mhm.
try to spin it into the biggest positive that I possibly could. And like it was working. Like if I didn't end up against Roe, I think I'd still be there.
What I appreciated about you so much is we get a lot of people who don't revel in being diabolical in the game, and they worry so much about, oh, Canada or America, Big Brother US, they're not gonna like me, they're not gonna. You owned everything. Like you had like the laughs in the diary room. You talked about Mastermind. Even after you were evicted, you were laughing. And I was turning to Jess. I was like, this guy's talking to Arissa, and it seems like he's having the time of his life, even though he was just evicted. Like, did you know that you were gonna be gone by the time the eviction happened? Was that already set in your head? You're just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna have fun.
Well, I wanted to call when I realized I was going to be working alone. I
Yeah.
was like, well, I guess I got to bring a little bit of chaos. And even before going in, if you watch some of my like introduction stuff, I was like, I'm going to do something fun if it gets boring. And I meant it. I wanted to shake up the house when I could, just for my own entertainment purposes. And yeah, I did have like a great time. I was there playing a game, and like that's what I was there to do. I wanted to shake things up. I wanted to see people squirm. I didn't want to sit and hold hands with everybody. I wanted to have fun. And like I had fun. And yeah, when I'm laughing and giggling to Arissa at the end, it's just like I just had like such an awesome time. I wish I could have stayed longer and caused some more chaos, but
Us
you
too.
know, it's how it shook out. But yeah, I'm really happy.
So, who did you really want to work with? Like, was there anybody there that you would have stayed loyal to if you had the chance?
Honestly, I was trying to be very loyal to the people that I gave my final pitch to.
Mhm.
Had I given that pitch and included Beth instead of Tara, it probably would have shaken out significantly different. Um, and I was very serious about like, if I'm making this final seven, I am sticking to it. I'm literally avoiding other people in this house that are not this, and I will gladly go after these other people. I was very, very serious about this.
You mentioned in your interview with Larissa your day 3 situation that went down, and we don't have feeds on it, so the only things I've sort of gathered, and you can correct me if I'm wrong along the way here, is that you tried to work with some of the guys in fairly early on, and then they weren't communicating with you, and then that led to sort of a series of chain events. But what really happened kind of early on, and how much did this change pretty much your entire game?
Um, Yeah, well, I did cut a day one final two deal with Kyle.
Mhm.
Um, and then I wanted to bring in a girl. So I was trying to get Victoria in to work with us. And we were kind of a little three. And then we really wanted like a fourth,
Yeah.
Kyle and I. And then it was the introduction of Rohan into the mix that like I was suspicious of him from day one
Mhm.
because he was always lurking around, just always, and like so obviously lurking around too. It was just like uncomfortable. And I like heard him saying my name to people all the time, like before anything. And I was like, I'm suspicious of this fellow. And then yeah, you're right in seeing like Kyle and Roe then just like went off and were like kind of their own thing. And I was like, am I just being played entirely here?
Yeah.
And then there was some like other emotional things that were just stuff I had not prepared for dealing with that kind of came into play. I didn't really want to see Julie go home first. Like I just for like just me, like that's just not something I wanted to see. And then it just like everything just kind of blew up in my face. But I kind of wish I would have stuck with trying to get Row out. I feel like the whole game would have shaken out very differently, but people
So,
didn't want to make that move.
so what then do you think was sort of the single biggest mistake that just ended your game for you?
I think from after my little moment, we'll call it, I did play a pretty good game and presenting like a very good option for people that if this was any other season, I probably would have gone quite far with that plan.
Mhm.
I had pinpointed a few alliances and was like pretty strategic in who like I approached.
Mhm.
I think what I wasn't anticipating was everybody was in like 4, 5, 6 alliances.
Yes.
And then I was just like the only one not in any. So in a normal season where there's like 2 or 3, it would have been like, oh yeah, we'll keep them around and get someone from one of the other ones. But everything was just like this giant alliance, like Venn diagram where everyone somehow linked up. And I was just like the one dot over here and nobody wanted to blow their game up. But the second I left, everyone's game blew up. It was going to happen regardless. I don't think it was a good move for Jed specifically to keep Roe. He was scared of Roe and Kyle working together. So he kept Roe. Like, I'll need the explanation from him in person.
Yeah. I will give you the explanation from afar. He should have kept you. A lot of people should have kept you.
Yeah.
So you after the eviction, you found out, and I apologize in advance for doing the signal about the sunsetters,
No.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to see that for like however long this alliance sticks around. But okay. Was there any way that you could have detected something like that with those particular people in the game? Because it's one of those sort of things everybody on the outside is always like, how did they not know this alliance is there? It's like you can't be in every place in every conversation at every time.
Yeah.
They were pretty good at hiding it. Though I'm gonna like look at who I pulled in to try to cut a final 7 deal with. It was like pretty significantly sunsetters. I had a lot of them come up to me and ask, why did you pick this group? Why did you pick this group? Like I had a hunch that something was going down. I thought actually what it was Tina, Tara, Latoya, and Kiefer as one alliance, and then I thought Latoya was the bridge, like with Jed and Ty as a second alliance, and I thought those were 2 alliances that I was just kind of like that's the reason for me LaToya was so pivotal, is because I thought she was the one kind of controlling those two alliances. But it wasn't Tara, it was Beth.
So there were times
sneaky
that
Beth.
it looked like this vote was going to flip. So
Yeah.
is there anything you think you could have done to make that happen? Because it really felt like it was going to flip, and you know, from where we're standing, it would have been the right decision to get Ro out.
I think there could have maybe been more done, but I don't think it could have been done by me to get me to stay. That was kind of like my plan. Was I planted the seeds, had the conversations, and I knew it was going well and positive. And then that's why I went and like sat in bed for an entire day just to stay out of it, because of like all the chaos that would ensue. But yeah, honestly, I knew in the morning I was going home because LaToya told me. And then she said to a bunch of people, be like, we're making the wrong move, we're making the wrong move. And then 30 minutes before eviction, all of a sudden, everybody dispersed into rooms in very weird, like, breakings. And I had no idea what was going on. I was so in the dark. And I was like, you know what? I think some more weird deals were cut in that period of time that I was like, okay.
Okay, Josh, I know we're running out of time. I could ask you a million other things, but hey, you're not the sort of person we often get on the show, so it was so fun this past week. The feeds, thank you for giving us great feeds, and
oh, you're welcome.
We appreciate all that, and hey, I hope you have a really good rest of your day and all the crazy press you got going on.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
meeting both of
Josh.
you.
Thanks, Josh.